Hey, what's going on? Schizo Jits here. UFC 299 fight week, banger of a card, one of the best of the year, probably the best of the year so far, coming up to UFC 300. UFC 299 and 300, at least as far as the main cards go, they're pretty comparable. I'm going to talk about the main card today, and I'll talk about those fights a bit. We're opening up in the bantamweight division with Peter Yan versus Song Yadong. So this is going to be a really good matchup of strikers. I think Song Yadong, he's training over at Team Alpha Male, so he's got some ground game, wrestling, rear naked chokes for sure, guillotines. They train all that stuff there. Peter Yan, he has shown a little bit of a deficiency in his wrestling game. He was a good wrestler. He was taking down Sean O'Malley at will, and a lot of other fights he was able to do really well on the ground. Even in the first Aljo fight, I don't know. It just seems like whenever he lost when he got that no contest, or not a no contest, it was when he got disqualified against Aljo the first time, their first fight. It seems like he just kind of, I don't know, he hasn't been the same ever since. Sean O'Malley, I rewatched that fight last night with Peter Yan and Sean O'Malley. It was a lot closer fight. At first, I was thinking robbery. I thought Yan won. I can lie. Night of the fight for sure. I was like, Yan. They want Sean O'Malley to be a champ, so they give it to him so he could be next in line against Aljo. But I was thinking when I rewatched it, first round was kind of close. Second round, all the rounds were kind of close. They were competitive at least, like where both fighters had moments. So I could see it either way or even a draw maybe. Damage-wise, it was pretty even. Yan had the takedowns on some control time and stuff like that. So I could see the argument for him winning as well. But either way, it wasn't a robbery. It was still 2 out of 1. And Sean definitely competed throughout the fight and landed some bombs on there. We never see Yan really get cracked like that. But he hasn't really been the same since. So that getting back to that, Merab attempted, 49 takedowns on him, just because he felt that there's a hole in that wrestling game, and he was able to, I don't know how many he secured, maybe 10 takedowns, but he attempted 49. So that fight it's going to be a great fight though. These guys are going to go toe to toe. Peter Yan always does come to fight and bring it. I don't imagine Song Yadong going out there and just trying to wrestle him. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a stand-up war, 3 rounds. All action, and yeah, I can't wait for that one. What a way to open it up. And Peter Yan does need this win because he's lost so many in a row now. I'm not sure how many he's lost. It's been 3, 4 in a row. So it's like he needs to get in there and do his business there. I'm favoring Yan in this fight, but you got with how he's fought ever since that Aljo fight, the first one, and Song Yadong, he's coming up. He's explosive, but I'm still going to go with Yan on this. He needs this. He needs this bounce back. He needs that get back because he needs to show that he's still levels above and he's at the top of the division, that he's ready to get back in there. He might not. That's the thing. He's not going to get a rematch with Merab because he got dominated, but still there's always that Sean O'Malley. If Sean O'Malley can win these next couple fights, that is, there's always that rematch because they had a war for 3 rounds. Imagine if that was 5 rounds, who would have won? So great fight to open the card. So prelims are good too. There's some notables on there. But yeah, just to talk about the main card. The second fight, Gilbert Burns Dorino against Jack Della Maddalena. He's 16-2 and just he's smashing everyone basically right now. Gilbert Burns hasn't fought in a while. He got injured against when he fought Bilal Muhammad last time. He basically fought him with one arm for a couple rounds. So it shows how tough Gilbert is. Gilbert's one of my favorite fighters. Dorino, he had me, when he solidified me or just pulled me in when he said what, when they asked him, because he's always down to fight anyone. He fought Khamzat when nobody wanted to, when Khamzat was the scariest guy. Now people are calling out Khamzat because they seen that his gas tank might not be there for 5 rounds or 3 rounds. When he fought Usman, it wasn't at his best. So he didn't go in there and dominate Usman like everyone would think on short notice. So his wrestling can be a little, his gas tank could be better. That's a deficiency somewhat. I think it's just because he goes balls to the wall. He goes all out. But Gilbert's right there too. He's an explosive athlete. But it just showed right there that nobody wanted to fight Khamzat, but Gilbert stood up and he was like, I got this. He's all, I don't want to sit and wait for my title shot. I'll fight to the top. I'll fight for it. And that quote got me when he said something. I was like, man, I love that, because a lot of guys always want to sit, oh, I'm next in line. I deserve this. I deserve that. And instead of getting like political with it, Gilbert's not getting any younger either. He's like, what? I'm not waiting. I'm not going to sit and wait for my shot. I'll fight for it. I'll fight everybody. I got to fight all these guys anyway. So I'll do that. And so he's still hungry for sure. And he's got high level. He's high level everywhere. So hopefully he's injury free. And I'm rooting for Gilbert. He's, like I said, that's my guy. I got him. I'm always anxious to watch him fight. He's always exciting. Always puts on great fights. Always comes to bang. So, yeah, I'm picking Gilbert all the way on that. And I'm not. It's the 3-rounder. Jack's tough. I could see it going to decision, like just being a kind of a war. Wherever it goes, I could feel like Gilbert could be a little step ahead as far as like ground game. Jack's tough. Don't be wrong. He hits hard. But Gilbert showed that he has a good chin. He's got great toughness, just the mental fortitude and mindset to just keep pushing forward, even through adversity. Like he's never out of the fight, so he's always dangerous. Even against Bilal, he could have quit. A lot of guys would have quit. He had one arm in there, and he still was able to survive. And Bilal was looking good too. He's been looking great, so he's right there. He's next in line for Leon. So, and that brings us to Kevin Holland versus the debut of MVP. Yeah, let me go back to that. Yeah, and that brings us to a welterweight fight. Kevin Holland welcoming MVP Michael Venom Page to the UFC in his first fight, and that's gonna be crazy. Michael Page 21-2. We've all seen his highlights in Bellator. Literally crushed the skull of Cyborg, the male Cyborg, not the female. They were married, I guess, at one time, but yeah. And that guy he was just straight up Shuto box prototype, cookie cutter, just great crazy leg kicks, just fierce, just going. He had a lot of power, a lot of explosiveness. Like I said, cookie cutter from Shuto box. Like Vanderlei, he could have been Vanderlei Silva's like stepbrother or something, or cousin or whatever, because they fight the same way. Everyone kind of fought the same way that came out of that camp. And Cyborg was like that, just tough to deal with, come out strong in that first round, guns blazing, and Michael Venom Page hit him with, like, I think it was a jumping knee, and just literally cracked his skull. They show the x-rays of it. It smashed his skull in. And I don't think Cyborg's fought since then. Lucky to be alive on that, literally, because that had to rattle his brain, knocked him out cold. I don't think he was even out cold. He just grabbed his head right away, but that was a while back in Bellator. He fought in bare knuckle. That just kind of shows, too, that MVP's kind of down to scrap with whoever, too. And he's got a little bit of a reach advantage, I believe, too, in here. Yeah, or about the same, because Holland does have some long arms. He's 81-inch reach, so. But this is going to be a good fight. These guys, striker versus striker. We got Kung Fu versus kind of like a karate, taekwondo style of Venom Page, but kind of more snipery. Like, he's real tricky, switches stances. Like, he would throw a flying knee out of nowhere. He could fight from either side and just throw amazing type techniques. Highlight reel. Everything's highlight reel stuff with him. Like I said, he had a bare knuckle fight with Mike Perry, who Mike Perry's crashing and smashing on everyone right now. Shout out to Mike Perry. Another one of my guys that should always ride with. But, yeah, so we got MVP fought him in bare knuckle, and they went to a 6th round, actually. And I think they gave the fight. It was a draw going in after 5, which I do like this rule. So they had one more round, and Perry won that round. I honestly, I was favoring MVP. I thought he won after the 5 rounds. Like, I don't think they needed a 6th round, but either way, that's Mike Perry. You want to see one more round? He'll go all day. If there's 10 rounds, he's kind of like a Nate Diaz, like, just keep piling on rounds, and he's going to win. He's going to find a way to win just because he's so damn tough. And he hits hard and got a hard head, takes a shot. Never rocked a couple times, but he's still right back at it. He busted nose will be over here, still ready to scrap. Like, still coming at you and talking crap and smiling and just like, yeah. Like, so, yeah, we all know Mike Perry's crazy. So MVP fought him. So this is a great, everyone wanted to see this for a minute. Like, he lost to Douglas Lima. Douglas Lima has some of the sickest leg kicks out there, the calf kicks. You want to talk low calf kicks. He lost to him, shame in that. He was a champ at the time, got caught, but MVP is crazy to watch. Kevin Holland, the superhero, Batman. So what he brings, he's always bringing his fights. He has some good jiu-jitsu, black belt, kung fu background, has some power too. For being a lanky, a lot of those skinny dudes with those big fists at the end of them, they got power, and he's real slick with it, and he has a great chin himself. So I don't really see this fight going to the ground. Maybe I don't think Holland, he fought Wonder Boy and didn't take it to the ground when he could have. He took him down and jumps right back up like, oh yeah, we had an agreement or whatever, which I think it's BS. You should just win the fight. First and foremost, win the fight. But Kevin Holland, he's different. He ain't thinking like, oh, I want to beat this guy this way, play it safe, get a title shot. He's the type guy who's down to scrap anytime too. So he's from, I think, Riverside right here. Yeah, IE. Yep, down the street. Shout out to Kevin Holland. But unfortunately, I am picking MVP by a decision in this fight. And I think Kevin Holland's tough as hell. But I think we kind of seen this matchup with Wonder Boy and MVP and Holland, even though MVP is a little different than Wonder Boy. I think he's a little more snipery, maybe a little more power, other unless you're getting head kicked by Wonder Boy. Holland was able to eat everything that Wonder Boy was throwing. And I think he had an injury in that fight as well, I believe. I can't remember his arm or something. So or his hand, so he wasn't able to throw like he normally does and get down. So, but he definitely has power, and he can knock out MVP for sure. I think I'm not saying MVP has no chin, because he went to war in bare knuckle with Perry, who is like a truck. But for sure, Holland does have power, and he's tricky with it. He's real slick, kung fu background, so he's throwing from different angles. Great right hand. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. I could either see like Holland knocking him out, or MVP kind of point fighting him and just beating him on a decision with points. It's just because I don't see Holland outpointing him, but he can too. But I could just see, like, if it's a brawl, then for sure, then Holland's going to take this. I'm leaning MVP. I'm thinking he's going to be able to stay away just because he is long. He might play it safe first fight in the UFC, trying to get that dub. But I think Holland for sure can't put his lights out. So this is one of those fights. I like Holland more, obviously. I'm a fan of him. So it's like, but I'm rooting for Holland, but I kind of leaning MVP just like on a decision. Either way, it's going to be an exciting fight, and I can't wait to see it. So see what happens. I know you guys think who's taking that one. Then we got the co-main, Dustin Poirier versus BSD Benoit Saint Denis. There you go. Denis. This guy's a killer. 13-1, basically all finishes, but crazy as a good of a striker that he is, and powerful and like explosive, devastating type striking, like a lot of kicks, kick heavy attack. He has 9 submission wins. So I think a lot of times he just rocks people, gets on their neck, chokes them out. Or I think I seen a Kimura victory as well. I watched a few of his fights like yesterday, like 4 or 5 of his fights in a row, and he always opens up with a body kick. So that's one thing Dustin's going to have to, the Diamond's going to have to be wary of, or careful anyway, is just in that kicking range. And we all know Poirier's coming off a loss. Last June, he got knocked out by Justin Gaethje, head kick dead in Utah, Salt Lake City, UFC 291. Yeah, I was there for that, but amazing card, and that fight was just kind of crazy. It was nuts. It's hard to see DP lose like that, because I like both those guys, Gaethje and Poirier, so that was a tough one. But at the end of the day, Poirier is that type of guy who's seen it all, done it all, has had so many fights, like 40, 50 fights, like including amateur. Like, just he's a fighter's fighter. Everyone loves to see Dustin Poirier fight. The Diamond, everyone's going to tune in when the Diamond's fighting. So when the Diamond's shining, and this one right here, coming off a loss, I feel like Poirier definitely has something to prove to himself, even just like, no, I got to get that back. So it's a different, like, I know a lot of people probably thinking, well, he just got head kick knocked out, and this guy just throws nonstop kicks. Like, I guarantee you, BSD is going to open the fight, go across the cage, and throw a body kick. Every fight, it seems like he just opens up with a body kick and just starts kind of letting off with the kicks. So Poirier has some great kicks himself with the low calf kick, and he might be able to utilize that, which would be smart, or looking to counter that kick immediately with his boxing. So I'll get into that in a minute. But, yeah, so I'm thinking what Poirier is going to have to do is he's going to have to obviously be wary of the kicks. Okay, it's one thing when Justin Gaethje, like, he's throwing head kicks now. Like, Gaethje wasn't really known for his kicking game as much, other than the low kicks, the leg kicks. He threw a lot of crazy. He's been known for his devastating power with leg kicks and just crippling people almost. So we knew Poirier was expecting that. He probably wasn't expecting a head kick as much. More of the boxing. When Gaethje knocks people out, it's usually with the hands. So Poirier, I think, was a little bit more focused on that. I mean, he kind of still put it up to block. So, because even the way Gaethje threw that head kick is where he threw a left, or I think it was a left, and then the kick right after it. Might have been a right with it right after it. But either way, he kind of masked the kick with the punch first, so it's a different type of defense. It gets a different reaction. And Poirier just got caught and got knocked out. But the thing is now he knows this guy's a kicker. Like, he kind of fights the same in every fight. Like, the guy's like, BSD is very tough on the ground, like say 9 submissions. You could tell he's just a strong guy, comes just charging across and throwing, just coming with a lot of excitement and energy. And he's a young, hungry lion. He's a young, hungry fighter who throws a lot of kicks. So he's, like I said, super kick heavy attack. And he'll just, it's almost like Van Damme taking it way back in the day, like a kickboxer, just throwing kicks. Like, he just does that. He throws a lot of kicks. So, but the thing is, Poirier's had time to prepare for this. And this is a huge step up for BSD. He fought like one guy ranked in the top 15, and he put his lights out. Matt Favola knocked him out, I think, first round, and it was impressive. He landed a head kick on Favola. So for sure, Poirier knows that he has to get this get back, and he's seen everything. And I've seen, like I said, I watched 4 or 5 of his fights. I was thinking BSD kind of like has a little bit, if there is any, like, I won't say deficiency or openings there, I should say, it's in the hands and boxing range. I've seen his defense isn't the greatest there. In the kicking range, it's going to be, I think he's going to be very dangerous. When it comes to that boxing range where Dustin Poirier has that, he rolls with punches and throws a lot of heavy combos and has power on both hands. I think he's going to be able to catch BSD. He's going to put his lights out. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, maybe second, third round, I could see the leg kicks adding up. I don't think BSD might get the takedown on Poirier, but he's not just going to submit him unless he gets him rocked. If he rocks Dustin, then yeah, for sure, maybe he could choke him out or something like that. But other than that, Poirier is pretty slick on the ground himself. He's a black belt. He's been in this game training MMA forever. It seems like he's been forever. He's only like 35 years old. Seems like, man, he's been fighting since. I feel like I grew up watching him fight. But like, either way, Poirier is going to be right there. He's always in a fun fight. He's always stays right there in the pocket in that danger zone. So I think Poirier is going to try and smother him more than anything with volume, meet him in the middle, because like I said, he's going to come with that body kick, make him pay for that immediately with some power up top, because like it seems like he don't get his hands up right away when he gets in those exchanges and doesn't move his head. He doesn't roll with the punches as well as DP. DP's kind of constantly head movement, kind of because he has that boxing. So some of the best boxing in MMA. So yeah, I'm picking Poirier all the way on this one. I just think there's levels to it, and it's good for him to get right back into the title picture with the win here, with hopefully an exciting win, like a devastating type win. I'm not saying anything about BSC. I want to see anyone hurt, but I want to see him just finish this fight. I'm predicting second, third round, TKO, knockout. I think TKO will probably be, I don't know if it'll just be a one knockout, like headshot dead type thing. I think he'll finish the job, though, either on the ground and pound, or on the feet. I could picture him hurting him with his hands. And that brings us to the main event, a rematch between Sean O'Malley and the champion, Sean O'Malley, at bantamweight against Marlon Chito Vera. First fight, I just rewatched that as well last night. That fight was actually, Sean was looking good in that fight. His movement was really, really well. He was looking sharp. He was really focused and throwing a lot of kicks himself. And something that the team, like Joe Rogan and all the guys, they didn't see it that night. Cruz it kept thinking it was like he stepped wrong or something and twisted his ankle, but it was actually from a calf kick or that peroneal nerve kick where he hit him right behind the knee, like, but that little area where you got that tendon or that nerve right there. And because you could tell, I see when it happened, like the demeanor on Sean's face, because he was like moving around really well, just great footwork, changing angles, throwing like, I like the way every time he turns to the southpaw, boom, he throws a right jab. When he turns left, he's throwing another type strike. He's in and out, and he does some fakes. He does like some basketball shit. It was kind of cool. Like I seen him go like that, and then bing, bing. Like I seen him do some stuff like that, like where he's kind of juking. He'll be like, bing, like a no look punch. Like he's really creative in there, and he has a lot of power in that right hand. And I think that Chito did have success, obviously, with that leg kick, and I don't think he even knew what it was at first that hurt him. So it's like he just kind of seen that, because I seen at one instant when he kind of almost fell down when he was trying to circle to his right. Sean couldn't plant on that foot and kind of stumbled over and got right back up. And I seen Chito kind of stop and be like, hey, like what's up? Like, hey, but then he still got him. And then once he got him down, I think the last scramble, like where it was almost like a takedown situation where Sean had Chito up against a cage and threw a couple, like a combo, and Chito fired back. And I think kind of went for a takedown at the same time, and Sean just fell back basically. And after that, Chito just landed some vicious elbows on the top. It was loud. It was just like boom. And I think a lot of the stoppage, when I look back at it, I do think the stoppage was a little early. Like if O'Malley could have hung on to the end of that round, like who knows what would have happened. Maybe his leg would have got a little better in the corner. They could have worked on it or whatever, because that's happened before. Like it happened to Cejudo in the second Demetrius fight, their title fight, where he got that perimeter and he just kind of couldn't, the perennial nerve, and he couldn't plant, and he almost fell down. He could have gave up right there, but Cejudo worked through it and was able to win that fight. Same thing happened with Michael Chandler in Bellator. I think it was like against Pitbull. I'm not sure. It could have been against Pitbull, but the same thing happened with him. So, and he was able to recover. I think he recovered. I can't remember if he lost that one or not. That was a while back, but either way, it's happened. We've seen it before, and I think that's what happened. I think if he could have survived if we're talking ifs here, but anyway, like if he could have survived, who knows? Because he was doing pretty well on the feet. He was catching Chito. But we all know Chito is a slow starter as well. Like he kind of like takes that first round just to kind of gauge and read. Almost like a Duplessis kind of does the same thing, like kind of just goes in there, throws a lot of power. I think Chito does rely on his power a little too much. It'd be nice to see him get a little busier. But then again, like it's a 5-round fight. You got to pace yourself, so who knows? And if O'Malley is running around over there or on his back foot, or who knows if they're going to meet in the middle and scrap, then it's like 5 rounds. It's either go all out or you're going to try to pace yourself against someone who, a sniper like Sean O'Malley has proven to be. Gaucho just with a nice little step back right hand, and with that much power though, just to put him face down real quick and finish him off. Chito still got to be worried. Chito, we never really seen him rock. He does have a granite chin. I think I seen a meme yesterday or something, a picture with the only fighter that have all these freaking warriors from everybody, Aldo, all these guys, the only fighter who never been cut or bloodied up, and that was Chito. So he does take a shot. So he lost I'm not sure if he lost his last fight, but he did lose to Sandhagen. He didn't look that great in that fight because he's a slow starter. So I think if O'Malley can try to implement some of that game, but he was taking him. Sandhagen would use a more wrestling approach. I don't think O'Malley's going to do that. I don't think he's just going to be able to take down Chito at will or anything like that. He's got pretty good jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. O'Malley does, but I don't see him like just taking him down and doing. I think he's going to try and knock him out or get back that way. This is like a 50-50 fight. The way the first fight was going, O'Malley was doing well. Chito had moments, but Chito's that lion. He's that killer. As soon as he sees blood, that shark, he pounces and just finishes just like that. He goes for the kill, and that's what he did against O'Malley. As soon as he seen him hurt, we saw vicious elbows and his ground and pound. Everything he throws has a lot of power. His kicks, his hands. Obviously, that one kick. It was literally one kick. I seen it. One kick, and O'Malley's whole program was messed up. He's like, "Oh shit, what am I gonna do now?" You could see it in his face. His whole demeanor changed. It would have been nice if he could have played it off a little better. And I don't know if he hurt his ankle that bad when he fell down that second time, but it was kind of weird that he was able to move around on it. I was like, man, he had a little Aljo moment. And as soon as the fight ended, he just grabs his leg, which shows that O'Malley does have a chin too, because he was taking some shots right there at the end, and he still like right away was just grabbing his leg. Like I don't know if he was playing it up, left on a stretcher like on a gurney. They had to wheel him out. I don't know if that was just kind of like an Aljo moment, like just trying to let everybody know, yeah, I'm injured. Or I think it would have been nice to hear what he was saying on the mic, because they kept thinking it was like from a trip or something else, or from him kicking Chito, like a checked kick. That's what I think Chito was thinking it was. But no, it was that perennial nerve that Chito hit. So, and that's still something, I still take that. O'Malley doesn't count that as a loss, but you got to count that. Chito did that. Regardless, he threw that, and he took him down and finished him on the ground. So if he could have survived that round, who knows what would have happened. And that's why we get to see. That's what we get to see Saturday. That's the only reason really this match is happening, is because O'Malley wants that get back. He felt like it was unfinished business. He had the injury, and he was looking good. And he's made a lot of improvements. I think that war with Jan taught him a lot. Like, okay, I can't dig deep, because he's kind of been known to, like, if something gets tough or he gets injury, then he's just going to fold. Like, a lot of people didn't think he has this dog in him, but he definitely has that dog in him, and he has some power. And he's looking good. He mixes it up with those front kicks to the body are nice, and he's got that reach. So 5'11", and that division, 135. So has a lot of power in both hands, and yeah, I see him mixing it up. And I don't think he could, I don't know if he'll finish Chito. He might catch him early. He might catch him where he might be the first to bloody him up. I don't know, because he does cause some damage. But Chito's tough as hell. I feel like he could turn the tables in this fight at any time and take over. And just if he does rock O'Malley, he has so much power that he might be able. Like, I was there live when he fought Dominic Cruz in San Diego, and Dominic Cruz came out like wrestle heavy, trying to take Chito down, just really pushing the envelope, just pushing the pace. And Chito was able to catch him with that head kick, but because the power is just different. Like, even in the first round, I think Cruz was all over him, winning the round, dominating it. But Chito lands like one big shot and it rocks him. So it's like, and then that head kick, like, so it's just, he's definitely exciting. I like Chito. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of both guys. So I do like O'Malley. Chito for sure. How can you not like that guy? He's got that whole like freaking Scarface accent. He's from Ecuador. Yeah, just crazy, dude. I'm a fan of the dude for sure, but I'm leaning O'Malley by decision in this. I don't think he can finish Chito. I think Chito's just too tough, but I think he might get outworked, outpaced. I think he will do some damage. He's definitely gonna have some moments because he's a dog and he's a great fighter. He has so much power that he does a lot of damage. He inflicts pain and damage. So it's gonna be a close fight for sure. It could be even a split decision, but I think O'Malley will outpoint him and maybe just stay away a little more. I don't know if he knocks him out, though. I think if there's a knockout, it's going to be from Chito's side just because he has so much power, and he's already finished him on the ground. Quick stoppage or not, I think everyone knew. I think, honestly, going back to that when I was watching the fight, I feel like Joe Rogan and Cruz and all these guys, I think they almost, like, because when Chito landed that huge elbow, it was like, oh! Like, they did their thing, and they were in the apex. It was really quiet, so that's all you hear was, oh, he's hurt! Oh, he's... You know, like, so it's like, I think that's kind of, the ref was like had to jump in there. And it was loud, dude, because you could hear that thing when he landed it on him. So maybe that's just, of course, you're going to react. Watching it on the couch, I'm like, oh! So I just feel like that might have had a little to do with the ref just jumping in there, like, it's, because there was only like maybe 20 seconds left or so in the round. If he could have survived, somehow tied him up. But Chito was kind of landing at will at that point. As soon as he got him on the ground, he landed some power shots. So who knows? That's the pass. That's why we're having this matchup. And let me know what you guys think. Who takes it?